On the morning of June 12th, Anna Thompson, a 23-year-old student from Seattle, joined her university friends for what was supposed to be a short research trip on the edge of the Amazon rainforest. The group carried maps, basic supplies, and a guide. But Anna had little idea how dangerous the jungle could be once you were alone inside it. As the sun rose high and the forest filled with strange bird calls, Anna felt both excited and nervous. The air was heavy, thick with humidity, and every step into the dense forest felt like entering another world. That afternoon, a sudden storm broke out, turning the bright skies into darkness within minutes. Rain poured down in sheets, drowning the sound of her group's voices. In the chaos, Anna lost sight of the others. She tried to call out, but the thunder roared louder. Branches cracked overhead, and the trail she thought she had been following disappeared under the mud and rushing water. She ran, heart pounding, hoping to see her group again. But when the storm finally ended, silence fell across the jungle. She stood alone, drenched, trembling, and surrounded by towering trees that all looked the same. The realization hit her. She was lost. Anna checked her backpack. She had only a small notebook, a pen, and a half-empty water bottle. No food, no compass, no flashlight. The group had carried supplies together, and in the panic of the storm, she had been left with almost nothing. The forest seemed alive with eyes watching her. Monkeys screamed from above, insects buzzed in swarms, and somewhere far away, a jaguar growled. Fear pressed down on her chest, but she knew one thing. If she gave in to panic, she would die. So she forced herself to breathe slowly. "I have to survive," she whispered to herself. The first night was the hardest. With no shelter, Anna sat under a large tree trunk, her arms wrapped around her knees. The jungle never truly sleeps. Strange sounds echoed all around. Rustling leaves, snapping twigs, and distant howls. Mosquitoes attacked her skin, and she had nothing to protect herself. Every sound made her heart race. She barely slept, shivering in her wet clothes, praying that when morning came, she might find her way back to the group. But as dawn arrived, Anna realized the terrifying truth. She was deeper in the jungle than she had ever imagined, and no one knew exactly where she was. The fight for survival had just begun. When the sun rose on Anna's second day, the jungle revealed both its beauty and its cruelty. Sunlight pierced through the high canopy in thin golden beams, but the air was still heavy and suffocating. Her stomach ached with hunger, yet there was nothing to eat. The half bottle of water she carried was almost gone, and every sip felt like a drop of life slipping away. She knew water would be more important than food, so she began searching. Hours passed as she stumbled through thick vines, scratched by thorns, bitten by insects, and weakened by fear. Finally, she heard the faint trickle of running water. Following the sound, she discovered a small, muddy stream. At first, she hesitated. What if it was dangerous to drink? But thirst won the battle, and she knelt down, scooping handfuls of water into her mouth. It wasn't clean, but it was survival. The next challenge was food. By the third day, Anna's energy began to fade. Every step felt heavier, her legs trembling as if carrying invisible weights. Her mind drifted toward thoughts of home, her mother's cooking, her warm bed, the safety of her apartment in Seattle. But those thoughts hurt more than they comforted, reminding her how far away she was from everything familiar. She searched the forest floor for berries or fruit, but every plant looked strange and threatening. Some shined with bright colors, warning of poison. Others were covered in thorns. The fear of eating something deadly kept her stomach empty. Instead, she chewed on leaves, just to trick her mind into feeling she had eaten. By nightfall, weakness spread through her body, but her will to survive kept her moving. On the fourth night, danger came closer than ever. As she rested near a fallen tree, she heard the low growl of a predator. Deep, slow, and terrifying. Her heart pounded as she froze in place. Through the shadows, glowing yellow eyes appeared. A jaguar, the king of the Amazon. Anna's breath caught in her throat as the animal crept closer, sniffing the air. With no weapon, no fire, and no hope of fighting, she did the only thing she could: stay absolutely still. The beast circled her, its tail twitching, its eyes locked on her trembling figure. Minutes felt like hours, until finally the beast lost interest and slipped back into the darkness. Anna sat in silence, tears streaming down her face, realizing how close she had come to death. By day 5, her body was covered in insect bites, her lips cracked from dehydration, and her clothes torn from branches. Yet, she pushed forward. She remembered survival tips she had once read in a magazine: follow water, find high ground, and stay calm. She forced herself to keep moving, even when her legs felt like they would collapse. She found another stream and stayed near it, drinking and splashing her face to stay alive. Hunger clawed at her stomach like an animal, but she told herself, food can wait, survival can't. On the 6th day, her mind began to play tricks on her. She heard voices calling her name, laughter in the distance, even the sound of footsteps. But when she looked around, there was nothing. The jungle was silent except for the endless buzz of insects. She realized she was hallucinating from exhaustion. Fear crept in. If she lost her mind, she would lose her fight. So she whispered to herself over and over, "Stay alive, Anna. Just one more day, just one more step." By the 7th day, Anna's body was at its breaking point. She could feel her bones pressing against her skin, her muscles weak and trembling, and every step felt like dragging chains across her ankles. She had survived a week with no real food, only muddy water and the willpower that refused to die. Each sunrise was both a curse and a blessing, another chance to fight, but also another reminder of endless suffering. On the morning of day 7, she noticed deep scratches on her legs, swollen insect bites on her arms, and her vision blurring from fatigue. Yet, inside her, a fire still burned. The thought of her family waiting for her, the dream of stepping out of this nightmare alive. By day 8, Anna had learned to adapt. She built a crude shelter using branches and giant leaves to shield herself from the rain. At night, she piled dry leaves beneath her to keep off the cold ground, though the jungle's chill still pierced through her skin. She collected rainwater in large leaves, drinking carefully to save her strength. Hunger clawed at her stomach like an animal, but she told herself, food can wait, survival can't. On day 9, her mind began to play tricks on her. She heard voices calling her name, laughter in the distance, even the sound of footsteps. But when she looked around, there was nothing. The jungle was silent except for the endless buzz of insects. She realized she was hallucinating from exhaustion. Fear crept in. If she lost her mind, she would lose her fight. So she whispered to herself over and over, "Stay alive, Anna. Just one more day, just one more step." By day 10, the jungle gave her a glimmer of hope. In the distance, she spotted footprints in the mud. Human footprints. At first, she thought it was another hallucination, but as she followed them, she discovered broken branches, a piece of cloth caught on a bush, and faint signs of a trail. Her heart pounded with new energy. She screamed with all the strength she had left. "Help! Somebody please help!" Her voice cracked, but she kept shouting again and again until the jungle echoed with her desperate cries. Finally, on the morning of day 11, as the sun rose through the misty trees, Anna heard something she hadn't heard in days. Voices. Real voices. She staggered towards the sound, her legs nearly collapsing until she broke into a small clearing where a group of rescuers stood. They had been searching for her since the storm. The moment they saw her, thin, weak, but alive, they ran to her side, wrapping her in a blanket and giving her clean water. Tears poured down Anna's face as she whispered the words she had been holding